Under the gray and tense skies near Kurakiv, an epic drama began to unfold. Russian troops launched a massive attack with the second wave, confident that they would break through the defenses of the brave Tavrian paratroopers. They came with a terrifying force. 57 armored vehicles, including 10 tanks, 47 armored fighting vehicles loaded with infantry, 10 motorcycles, and even a train. It was a magnificent sight, seemingly an unmatched force. However, the courage and tenacity of the Ukrainian troops can never be underestimated. Amid the onslaught of guns and explosions, they stood firm, showing the world what it means to stand and fight resolutely. They did not flinch at the overwhelming force that was bearing down on them, but instead found a stronger fighting spirit within themselves. The battle was fierce. The roar of guns and the sound of war vehicles filled the air. The Ukrainian troops, with the brilliance of their gunners, the unmatched skill of their drone operators, and the precision of their anti-tank teams, put up a thrilling fight. They managed to destroy 12 armored combat vehicles, 8 Russian tanks, and 9 motorcycles and trains carrying the enemy. Every explosion, every shot, was a testament to their courage. In the chaos of the battle, 36 invaders lost their lives, while 32 others are still being treated for their wounds. Panic began to grip the paralyzed and helpless Russian troops. They felt the fury and fearless spirit of the Tavrian paratroopers that forced them to retreat hastily. This incredible footage captures moments of heroism and strategic brilliance of the Ukrainian troops. Amidst all the limitations and pressures, they managed to show that fighting spirit and tenacity can always defeat seemingly invincible forces. The Battle of Kurakiv will be remembered as one of those epic moments where courage and tenacity managed to defeat a much greater force. In this heart-stopping footage, we see a drone clip from Ukraine's 36th Marine Brigade, capturing a Russian convoy of 8 units attempting to advance on Ukrainian positions near Kharkiv. The Russians decided to move in with 8 pieces of equipment and a landing party, thinking they could break through. But wait, the 36th Marine Brigade, along with the brave 207th Battalion of the Territorial Defense Forces, had other plans. They set up a defense that the Russians clearly didn't like. As the convoy advanced, they were immediately attacked by Ukrainian artillery, a surprise party they didn't want to attend. And here's where it gets interesting. One BMP was spectacularly incinerated by an FPV drone from the Sky Monsters Unmanned Systems Battalion. You can almost hear the collective gasp from the Russian troops as they scattered like leaves in the wind. Old habits die hard, and as tradition dictates, the Ukrainians broke through, with several of the enemy overwhelmed in the fierce firefight. By the end of the battle, Ukrainian forces had destroyed 2 BMPs, 3 APCs, and even a motorcycle. But what really happened? They destroyed 1 BMP and displaced 48 Russian troops, permanently. Russian troops thought they could roll into Krasnohorivka with their shiny tanks and BMPs, but unbeknownst to them, they were about to become the stars of a Ukrainian artillery highlight reel. In this gripping video, drone footage from Ukraine's Shadow Unit captures a Russian armored convoy, 3 tanks and 3 BMPs, making its way toward Ukrainian positions. As they approach a roundabout in the eastern part of the city, they inadvertently enter the line of sight of Ukrainian artillery, expertly guided by the vigilant drone. And boom! The first strike lands with pinpoint accuracy, hitting the second tank. What a warning! The impact was so powerful that it not only destroyed the tank, but also left the BMP behind badly injured. As the smoke clears, we see a scene straight out of an action movie. A brave Russian crew member manages to escape, along with a few BMP troops, and they sprint back to safety. But wait, it gets worse. The front tank and BMP, realizing they're in big trouble, try to retreat. However, as they approach their fallen comrades, Ukrainian troops launch another artillery barrage. And guess what? Yes, you guessed it, the second tank caught fire. This fierce battle took place at the eastern roundabout of Krasnohorivka, where a Russian column was attempting to sneak into the city via the main southern road. The brave soldiers of the 79th Airborne Assault Brigade are back in action, relentlessly beating back the Russian invaders and their armored vehicles. In the Kurakhovsky direction of the Donetsk region, 3 Russian BMPs decided to storm the Ukrainian positions, accompanied by a landing force and protected by tanks. But guess what? The tanks didn't last long. They hit a mine and exploded in a massive explosion. Now let's talk about the real MVPs here. The FPV drone operators. With pinpoint precision, they sent one BMP flying into the sky, turning it into a fiery ball of twisted metal. Boom! The other 2 enemy vehicles? They soon realized they were overwhelmed and sped away from the battlefield faster than you can say retreat. But it wasn't over yet. The paratroopers who managed to escape the burning wreckage didn't get an easy way out either. They were met with aerial bombers who made sure they wouldn't be back for round 2. It's a harsh reality out there. But the Ukrainian forces have proven time and again that they are a force to be reckoned with. In short, the 79th Airborne Assault Brigade showed great courage and skill in the face of adversity. They did not just survive, they fought with all their might. The despots' attempt to turn the tide of the war failed after at least 29 attacks were fended off by President Volodymyr Zelensky's forces. Putin ordered his army to capture more territory in the Donetsk region, but the deadly advance resulted in a huge defeat and destruction. An estimated 40 intruders are thought to have died in the attack, while 37 were injured. 6 Russian tanks and 7 armored battle vehicles were destroyed as they were struck by kamikaze drones. Ukrainian paratroopers repulsed 29 attacks in the city of Kurakhove alone, as Russia steps up its operations in several areas of the Eastern Front, according to the General Staff of Ukraine's Armed Forces, Dmytro Hutsuliak. Anti-tank gunners have also been involved in the defense against the Russian attack group, said Ukraine's 79th Separate Air Assault Brigade, also known as the Taurian Brigade. Putin's forces also fell into mines set by Ukrainian sappers. The brigade said in a statement, "As a result of the battle, our paratroopers shot down 6 tanks and 7 armored personnel carriers with infantry. The Russians suffered huge losses in manpower. 40 occupants were killed, and another 37 wounded. 200 assault vehicles, 11 tanks, 12 motorcycles, and about 57 armored vehicles were allegedly involved in the vicious attack." The Russian thrust was dubbed one of the largest assaults of the war by the brigade.